Hola amigos. So, you know what's funny? I'm currently sat here in Valencia, surrounded by Spanish people, and every few seconds I hear someone roll an R without even thinking about it. So they'll say something like perro, gracias, ferrocarril. And well, it sounds completely effortless, completely natural. Then there's me. Well, there used to be me, because for a good while I couldn't do it. Not once, not accidentally, not even a tiny little trill, nothing. And honestly, I used to think there was something wrong with me. I watched every YouTube tutorial I could find, do this, do that, put your tongue here, make this sound, practice for 5 minutes here, nothing. I'd sit in my bedroom going, like some sort of broken lawnmower. Absolutely no vibration whatsoever. So if you're watching this video, it's because that's exactly what's happening to you. Good, because that's why I wanted to make this video. Not as a Spanish teacher, no, but as someone who genuinely struggled themselves to roll the R. And well, as you can tell, eventually I figured it out. And it's not because somebody gave me some sort of magical trick, but because I finally understood what I was doing wrong. The funny thing is, I actually avoided saying certain words because of this problem rolling the R. I'd be talking to somebody in Spanish, and if I knew a rolled R was coming up, well, I'd completely change the sentence. I genuinely organized my conversations around avoiding one little letter, which, well, looking back on it, is completely ridiculous. Because, look, no Spanish speaker ever cared. Not one person, not one person. Every Spanish person I ever met was just happy that I was trying, right? The only person judging my pronunciation was me. And I think that's true for a lot of language learners. We assume everyone listening is going to scrutinize every tiny mistake. And in reality, they're not. They're listening to what you're trying to say. So let's talk about why rolling your R's is actually so difficult. The biggest misconception is that you need to actively move your tongue really fast. Well, you don't. In fact, that's exactly what stops it happening. So imagine holding a piece of paper in front of a fan. The paper vibrates because the air moves it, right? Well, your tongue works exactly the same way. The trill isn't something it's not something you force. It's something you allow, okay? And that single idea completely changed how I practiced. So instead of trying harder, I actually started trying less. By that I mean I relaxed my tongue, I relaxed my face and my jaw, and suddenly I was getting tiny little vibrations. Not proper rolled R's, just little flicks. But honestly, that was enough. Because for the first time, I knew my tongue was physically capable of doing it. Just as yours is too. And here's another thing nobody ever tells you. Rolling your R isn't actually one movement. It's two things happening together, right? So the first thing is your tongue has to be exactly in the right place. Secondly, the airflow has to be strong enough to make it vibrate. If either of those is missing, then unfortunately nothing happens. It's a bit like trying to whistle. You can blow as hard as you like, but if your lips are in the wrong position, there's not going to be any sound, is there? So, where should your tongue actually go? Well, I want you to forget everything you've heard about curling it backwards or all of these things. Just don't, okay? The tip of your tongue should rest very, very lightly just behind your top front teeth. Yeah? Exactly where you make a soft D sound. Try saying there. There. Look at me. There. Feel where your tongue lands? There. That's your target, okay? Now, instead of pressing hard, I want you to relax it, but almost so relaxed that it feels like it's going to fall out. Now, breathe out, not violently, just enough air. You probably won't get it. I didn't, but you're teaching your brain where the tongue belongs, okay? There, there. That's the important bit. Now, here's the exercise that helped me more than anything else. Don't start with Spanish, start with English. So say the word butter. Again, butter. If you're British like me, listen carefully. You're probably not saying a proper T. You're making a quick tap with your tongue. Butter, butter, butter. Now, the good news is that that's incredibly close to the movement you need for a Spanish R. Now let's try another one. Ladder, ladder, ladder. Again, notice your tongue. It's already moving exactly where it needs to go. All we're trying to do is let that movement continue for just a fraction longer. That's it. One of my favorite pairs of Spanish words is pero, but, and perro, meaning dog. Let me give you another example. Caro, meaning expensive, and carro, meaning car. So again, one little sound that distinguishes the two is really important. So if you're a beginner, Spanish people will almost always understand you from context anyway. But if you point at a dog and accidentally say pero, they're going to smile and understand exactly what you meant. So don't let this stop you from speaking. I made that mistake for years. I thought I'll wait until my pronunciation is perfect and then I'll dial down on it. But pronunciation is never perfect. So you improve by speaking, not by waiting. This is something that's going to happen over time. Don't pressure yourself, but you should always make an effort to at least try and produce that trill. And as long as you're always thinking about that piece of paper in a fan, think about how the air moves that paper. You don't need to force it. Your tongue needs to be relaxed, just like the paper. Paper's relaxed. It's not firm and rigid. The air is what allows it to shake. I hope that helps. Have the patience. Don't try and rush this. It took me a long time to be able to roll my R's, to trill. And in the meantime, you know, Spanish speakers aren't going to be judging you or condescending. They understand that this is not something that comes naturally to English speakers. So with that being said, I hope it helps. Keep trying. And if you found any tips or tricks that help you roll your R's, then please share them in the comments, because it's one of those things, isn't it, that we all struggle with. And yeah, let's help each other. Anyway, hasta la próxima.